you put that to move forward. The second reason is I was wanting to get input, just like she just said. I can make the decision because I like the program, but I'm not the one in the field every day. I'll be out there, but I'm not the one every day in the field, and that's not my task. I wanted to get the feedback from Megan and Chief on actually going through the demo. They did that. And so now the recommendation is to move forward with pivoting from Tyler code enforcement and then Encode, to iWorks, using the code enforcement and permitting, adding that to our thing, and people being able to be trained on that. So it was those things. I wanted to get the feedback from the actual employees who are doing it day to day versus me just selecting it and making them learn it.
It also gives you the option, which I'm something I'm going to have to see if they can change this for me. The biggest thing is the follow-up, right? Once I complete a task, I'm the type, I'm going to move on to the next one. My short-term Dory memory is going to forget about this. I need something to alert me. Tell me, hey, on this day, I need you to do a follow-up with these houses because they're due.
It sets reminders based on, so after you get so there's a process. The law says you have your 10-day letter, you have your cleanup or whatever. If I'm the code enforcement person, maybe I set a timer for 15 days to come back up, and I need to go by these houses to check to see if they've been done. And you can set it 15, 30 or whatever, so you don't necessarily have to go back in the system and look for it. It'll automatically pop back up, and you just click back in and say, okay, let me check, and close it out. So it has that process filter during this whole process. So you're uploading it. So then I can print out for council for the month of such and such, for the year of such and such. These are how many permits were open, these are how many were closed. It is a CRM system. So we have data to make decisions to inform us. But I know y'all are hungry and restless, and so we want to wrap this up. So Chief, if you can wrap this up so we can get lunch.
We can stop right here.
Or does anybody have any questions? Animal control, code enforcement, police.
Animal control's next.
I did have a comment. I just found out yesterday that the San Antonio Animal Control, we had an officer out there. They have, because one of the number one issue complaints that we have here in our city is that we only have one or animal control officer. For a population of 3 million, they only have 28. So that's one per 107,000 citizens.
For us, we had 4 full-time positions at one point, and now we have 2, which we've only filled 1. And that's our manager, and 1 kennel tech. We have gone back, but that's no one's fault but COVID. COVID changed the schematics for the entire city, and some positions were removed. And that was just to be safe with the funds and finances.
Yeah.
So.
How many liens do we, go back into code enforcement, and original liens, how many liens does the city have right now?
Whew. There is no tracking system for those liens. So, everything's on paper. Now, I would have to go through Patty's office. She's the one that kept all the liens. If she has maybe all paper documents in a folder, I know she has to keep them. They're government documents, but we don't have a tracking system for that as far as I'm concerned. Am I wrong?
I'm not aware of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, everything's on paper. So
So we don't know what we have.
not as far as liens, but I can tell you some houses have $10,000 worth of liens, some houses might have 130, just depends. And we also don't know when we will get that.
That should be so one of the things we're going to roll out is that is a separate process. Lien documentation, because it's a kind of a court thing, needs to be in the city secretary's office. We should have a file because it's something that we should have to report. In this process, because they work cross-departmentally, the goal is to be able to have like a file or a system that we can show that. Because when someone's selling a house, the lien should be recorded. We need to know how to, once they can pay us our money, if you have a lien for 10 years and you're only using paper process, and people say, well, you never cut the grass for 10 years straight. In this current system we have, each time you can upload the pictures and they get the citation. And then, so it's not just the citation process, there's the other process. Citation is just that, is the remedy what we're trying to do is we want people to cut their grass. But if they don't live here and they don't, what we're gonna start doing, the lien comes from someone actually going to physically cut the grass. When you physically cut the grass, there's an amount of money that is associated with that activity. That is what is liened, put on the property, right? And so that process works at the same time. Now, in this system, you now have the documentation and the pictures. 10 years when they go to sell the house or whatever, we'll get our money, and then we gotta know how to release that, release the property and stuff like, release the liens. But we're getting all that together, so everyone could then know our process moving forward. But we plan October 1 to be heavily prepared to move through code enforcement. I did share with the chief my thoughts on like making sure we have levels. There are levels. There's your basic code violations, there's your intermediate, and then there's your advanced. Advanced usually takes like programs. It's a programmatic piece in reference to how do you do that. Habitat for Humanities or those types of work with nonprofit organizations to help facilitate fixing up houses, repairs and repairs. Basic code is having a clean, non-trash, non-high grass, non-working cars. That's kind of like the basic pieces of what we want to do. And then when we start cleaning up those things in our community, people will treat our community better. And then we kind of go after the second level. So you have like your short-term and long-term goals to that. So we're not going, no, we don't want, everybody reporting we ain't taking nobody's house. We ain't trying to take nobody's house. We're gonna follow the process, and making sure that we, one, if people need assistance, that we start to look at as those assistance programs. But number two, also getting a list of contractors who may cut grass. So when someone says, hey, I have a property there, but I don't live there, it's not like, do you know somebody? We're like, well, we can't give you a person, but I can send you a list of contractors in our community who cut grass. Though that's the extra step to us of like what makes Kirby home, right? A small city, big heart. That's the connectivity. What we're trying to do is get back to basics, connecting back to small city, big heart. And with that, we don't want your food to get cold, and we're gonna have a working lunch. So go ahead and use your restroom, wash your hands, get your food, and then the next presentation will be the Kirby Senior Center.
Hey boss, you want me to go over ACL route? It's shorter than anything else.
Burger, fries, and then club sandwich. So it's burger, fries, and then club sandwich. Yeah. Right up here. Kathy, you gonna eat?
We had that Kirby breakfast.
Oh, okay.
So,
Armando, you hungry? I know you're hungry.
don't be shy, Armando.
There's a lot of, yeah, a lot.
Let everyone.
I won't do this.
What is it? Club sandwich?
Oh, yeah, it's club sandwich and fries, and then, burger and fries. So, either one. Susan, you gonna eat? You wanna eat them? Okay.
We need to start saying prayer before.
It's sweet.
We need to start saying prayer.
Oh, okay, well, there's some sugar on this, on the other side. Probably the other day. Oh, sorry, I'm all about it. You got a lot of it. Where's the sugar? I got it right there. Oh, okay, I'm like, I know there was some sugar. Okay. Oh, so also there's a lot of tacos, so like when you leave too, you want to take some food with you, you know what I mean? Like brisket tacos, sausage and egg tacos, bacon, like this, you know what I mean?
You got one
Yeah.
microphone?
Well, I'm pretty sure the camera's still on, so
Yeah.
I'll just, yeah. The camera's still rolling, everyone, so just beware, the camera's still rolling,
So no,
so everybody
pick
just,
no picking Wendy's,
no,
nothing.
yeah, I ain't got no appetite. Like, when I got here, I was so hungry, so ready to eat, and then everything just went down. Like, I ain't got no appetite anymore.
You ever been to that? You been to that Black Bear Diner? That's where we met for the Kirby Burgers Club.
Where's that at?
Right there on Ackerman, across 10. It used to be
No, I haven't been
the
there.
Iron Skillet. Used to be.
Oh, it's a new place now.
Yeah, they've been open since March. Oh my God, the breakfast is huge.
Is it? Is it a buffet?
No, I wish.
Oh. Huh. Yeah, because isn't that Iron Skillet used to be a buffet?
Yeah, they said for lunch.
Oh, for lunch. Okay.
But it's good. There was like over 20 of us over there.
Oh, really? Oh, look, they're probably happy to see y'all bringing up that business.
Yeah, because we reserved that back room. The managers came
wow.
and introduced
Oh, really?
themselves. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Thank you. Yes, whatever. Roger, if you don't want this, there still is tacos too left. You know what I mean? Like I say, yeah. Yeah, I say. And there's even that brisket taco and stuff. I don't know if you like that or not. Yeah, there's a lot left. I really thought y'all would eat more. Like, I've seen y'all eat, so I don't know where everybody playing right now.
Hey, everybody shy, man?
Huh?
Is everybody shy?
That's what I'm saying. Everybody playing like this shit. Like, I've seen y'all eat. I know y'all can eat, so.
If I grab one of those boxes, it's because it's for real. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Don't nobody care about that.
Everybody on the diet.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
There is a question I have for you all. I printed it out. There's a pay app.